Hey there, folks. Don't we all want the lowest interest rate and the lowest closing cost on the biggest financial purchase we've ever made in our lives, which is our homes? Of course we do. So, after 16 years of me taking phone calls of people calling in saying, "Hey, Mr. Hart, I'm calling around, shopping around with lenders. What is your best interest rate today? And what are your fees?" Here's what I found to be the case. There seems to be no industry standard that all loan officers agree upon as what is considered to be a closing cost. So when someone calls me as an example and they say, "This particular lender over here told me that the closing cost was $3,000. Here's the reality. You and I are both at a disadvantage because we don't know what that loan officer personally considers to be a closing cost and what is included in that $3,000 quote. So here's a few things that we do know are in the monies that are necessary to close a transaction, whether it's a purchase or a refinance. One is the lender fees. If the lender says we have zero lender fees, then that's it. That's pretty solid and cut and dry. Zero lender fees. The lender fees usually are an underwriting fee that can be anywhere from $500 to $800. A processing fee, $250 to $600. A credit report fee, $15 to $30. And those are typical and standard in the industry, and that is bona fide fees that really do need to be paid for. Now, the lender may charge points. Many people think points is a cuss word, but points may be the right thing for you. Points is money paid to buy a rate that is lower than what you qualify or a rate that is lower than what's available today. So that might be the right thing to do. So if a lender says, "Yep, there's going to be 1 point on this," ask the loan officer, "If I don't pay that point, what's my interest rate going to be?" Very likely it would be higher, of course. Or if they quote you their fees and rates and there are no points, ask the loan officer, "If I choose to pay points, how much would I have to pay and how much lower would my rate be?" It certainly may be worth it. So when that person calls me and says this lender said their lender fees are X amount of dollars, we're hoping that that means they're talking about their underwriting fee and their processing fee and their points. One thing we probably all will agree upon is title company fees are a true closing cost fee. Now, when you're refinancing your house by federal law, you do have the right to pick and choose your own title company. That's on the paperwork that you sign, but nobody reads the paperwork. If you're doing a purchase loan, very likely we don't have the luxury of picking and choosing our title company because that was chosen by the listing agent or the seller of the house or the seller's attorney. And so you and I are forced to go with the title company that was chosen. And then we, as the lender, simply get a hold of that title company, ask them what their fees are, and put it on our paperwork that you sign, and you pay those title company fees. Not a penny of that goes to us, the lender. Now, what about the escrow fee? Is an escrow fee a true bona fide closing cost? I'm not really sure, because if you do not have a mortgage on your house, you own it free and clear, you still have to pay taxes and homeowners insurance. So really then the escrow is simply money that we are loading up that account. Escrow is a fancy word for savings account, so that when that tax bill and homeowners insurance bill comes, we the lender have that money set aside to take it out of there and go ahead and pay those people. So that loan officer who's quoting you the closing cost over the phone may not be including in there how much has to be put in that escrow account. There's other fees also, such as appraisal fee. There are, in some states such as Florida, transfer taxes, which can very easily be a couple $1,000s, whether it's a refinance or a purchase. Did the loan officer include that in his closing cost? So sometimes people call me and they say, "Well, the lender says that they're going to pay for all of my closing cost." Awesome. I can do the same as well. But what are they actually paying for? Are they paying the state transfer taxes? Are they paying to load up your escrow account? Are they giving you money to pay your homeowner's insurance and your real estate taxes to load up that escrow account? Very likely not. What about mortgage insurance? On FHA loans, VA loans, and rural development loans, there's a lump sum of mortgage insurance, thousands of dollars, that is added into that loan. When someone calls me and says, Mr. Hart, what are your fees? What are your interest rates? What are your closing costs? I'm going to put that in writing. I'm going to put it on paper. I'm going to show you all the third-party fees. The lender fees, which may be an underwriting fee, a processing fee, a credit report fee, points if there's points. That's a lender fee. It may include what we would say is truly the closing cost, which is the title company fees. It will be the escrow. How many months do we have to load up for taxes and homeowners insurance, which is kind of really not per se a closing cost because it's not a fee. It's just money that needs to be collected. Then we know for sure, here's all the money necessary to complete this transaction. No funny business, just common sense business. So I'm Mr. Mario the Mortgage Man. Don't forget to get my app on the Play Store for your smartphone. Just send your smartphone to mario.lenderprolink.com and you can play it with a mortgage calculator yourself.